There's one by my place.
Oh,
The U.
no, I was up there yesterday, though.
Oh, yeah?
I did the Willard side.
Oh, so you were just.
Steve was running the other.
You go by.
Month of June, I had almost 10 inches of rain.
You got it, Brad?
Well, I just dropped the source because I stole the HDMI, but I thought it would run without it. No, okay.
Um,
You can cat, like if you join the meeting, you can cast your screen if you think that would work.
Teach me.
Okay.
I don't know.
If you join it, then you should be able to share.
Who?
If you join it on yours, yeah. you should be able to do that.
I go to the Russ County page.
Or the Tom.
Yeah,
It's okay. Oh, yeah.
Sharing.
I gotta look over. I'll look. See what I can. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It don't matter, it's four of us.
It's right.
Double they are. All right.
Oh, the arts.
I'll call the meeting to order, it's 8:00. Your approval of the minutes of June 4th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any more discussion on them? No, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Carries. Next, you have the judge air purification for Portland.
ready for me?
Yeah.
Great, I apologize that my copies are not very good, but I'm here to request an air purifier for the court system or for the courtroom. We've been struggling for a while now. It's really musty and moldy smelling in there. I myself have an allergy to mold, but I have 3 regular users in the courtroom who are having trouble with sneezing, congestion, everything. We're in there, stuck in there all day long. And it's the least expensive alternative. I mean, I don't know if it's the carpet, not asking to go to extreme with that, but an air purifier. I did ask my functional medicine specialist to give some recommendations on the models. Those she just sent me this morning. They're all pretty comparable. I think the difference can be in the replacement filters. But all of those seem to be comparable. I don't know. It's progressively gotten worse. I brought it up to the property chair before, sent him. We had done the same kind of mold study that Brett did. When I asked him to do one, I kind of was hoping it would be a little bit more thorough, but I'm not asking Tony to have a full-blown mold specialist come in to test, but there's obviously mold in there. But I think some of it's HVAC system, like all old buildings. But there's enough that it's causing problems. People are having trouble when they're in there.
You looked at it, Brett?
We did a mold test and it did come back with, completely forgot to grab it. Two common types of mold were in there. It wasn't crazy, but it doesn't do a good job of showing how much there is. It just finds traces of what. Oh, and those were associated with that sneezing, coughing type.
Yeah, last year I did a similar test, because I had a mold specialist come and test my home because of the problems that I was having. And that was really in depth. So I did the same one, but without really having something more in depth, you're not gonna be able to tell, but the real, realistically speaking, clerks who are complaining, they come in, they start sneezing, they have trouble. Got a court reporter with allergies, it exacerbates them. And we can't open the windows, security reasons. Running a fan just makes it worse.
Is it from the carpet, you think?
Well, that's what most likely cause usually is, but I think Brett tested and so did I, that exchange room. I mean, I tested it in the winter, so it wasn't, due to the air conditioning, although noticeably, especially on Mondays, it's really musty smelling on the whole third floor, but worse in the courtroom. Not as bad in my chambers, so then that kind of tells me maybe it's the carpet too. But that carpet's gotta came back in 2007. Judge Anderson was here for 12 years, so that's over 30 years old of people coming in with snow and wet boots. It's only this middle section has been shampooed once since I've been here, since 2007. But I don't know that shampooing probably makes it worse when it comes to that too. The carpet's held up great, but that usually is where mold is captured according to the doctor. So this may be enough. They seem pretty tolerable. I don't even know what the square footage in that room is.
The new one, I feel kind of is.
Not all saying they don't.
Well, we haven't decided on.
All three of those models would be, I think, plenty and as far as square footage. And they're all comparable in price.
One, all right?
Right. They're just three different choices. I think you really gotta look at the filters is where they can get you, so. I mean, I could sit down with that and look, she did send me another one that was like in the $700 range this morning, but I just got here, so I didn't have time to print it out. But the filters were like $400 as opposed to two. Some of them are good for a year, some of them are good for 6 months, so it would be worth looking to see which one really is more expensive.
Is the air conditioning up there pretty well filtered?
There's a UV light filter. So any particles that go through that UV filter should kill. On top of the regular filters.
It's very, very humid up there. I mean, the temperature itself, and we had some days that it was 80 in the courtroom. But I think that's when they were having troubles. The temperature is better, but it's still really sticky and moist in the air. But set a dehumidifier just isn't going to. This actually filters the air like every 30 minutes. It cleans the air.
Any other thoughts?
Debt coming out of
We don't have a penny.
courthouse maintenance.
See, that's my question as well. I mean, budgets are all looking okay right now. But it's definitely something I'd want. I guess I don't know prices of what we're looking at. It's in the $1,000 range.
Yeah, they're about bronze flowers.
It's just that, not that I'm against it either, because I want people to be comfortable when they're in there, but it's just kind of that one of those slippery slope type items where I'm worried about one department and then another department, well, we want two, and then my budget's eaten up and I can't do, if I have an emergency come up. I don't want to be tied up is all.
And, an alternative could be to take it out of bond revocation money. We haven't had any, but if we did, we could take it out of there.
Casey should pay, shouldn't he?
Mhm.
Casey should pay.
So if we do this, you think all the other ones on the apartments on the floor will be?
I don't know. I don't have any other complaints of this type, like with sneezing and mold and stuff, so I would hope not. But
What's the other fix to it?
that's not expensive. Is one,
What's not expensive?
spend more money. Here's, you can come and have vacuum and everything.
Yeah, it looks like these two are 1,200, that's 1,400.
What about the filters?
The filters are on the next page. Sorry, it's so small. I didn't have time to blow that up. And you have to look, because some of them are, that's the price for 6 months. And then some of the filters are good for a year. So I think they all tend to be around 200. But if,
Yeah, this is 200 if you do a subscription
then
every month. Be 200.
every month,
That's the way I read it. Because they send you one every month.
oh. No, every 6 months. Sorry, it's small. So this is a 6-month filter. There's one that's a year. Really small.
Okay.
I think the minimum is 6 months. It's not on there.
So 200 every 6 months.
Possible to get a unit that would fit in air handling unit.
As far as that style, I could reach out to Train, but like I say, we already have that UV filter
Yeah.
built into where if it does suck up mold particles, that should kill it already. So it would make me think that there's more likely there's something in that room than in the air handler itself.
Which I think the only other thing it could be then would be the carpet.
Oh, that's one with that free filter.
A lot of them have more than one. I think there's a charcoal filter and a HEPA.
A lifetime warranty.
It is possible too that there is a smaller model. Like I said, I have no clue what the square footage is. I didn't measure it. So one of these models covers like 2,000 square feet. It's not that big. So there might be a model, a smaller model that
I would,
cheaper.
offhand, I would guess you're within 500 to 700 square feet, and that's what
Okay.
I'd be shooting it big just to be safe.
Or drop. Did you pick it out of what fund?
Bond forfeitures. We don't have any, so we'd have to see if any comes in. Or that could be a way to get back. That money just goes in the general fund, I think, if forfeited normally.
Which is in there now.
There's some that's been revoked right now, but that means the DA has to file the forfeiture. So if he doesn't file them, then it doesn't get forfeited and it goes towards their fines after conviction. Probably $5,000 revoked right now.
Do you think?
I don't really expect you to make a decision on the spot. If you want, if you want me to sit down with Brett and actually see what the square footage is, and if there's a cheaper model, I'm perfectly okay doing that. I mean, what's another month, I guess? Yeah, I mean, to pinpoint it better, I just didn't have time
Could
because I
we-
didn't have the models.
Or would we do a better study on the carpet? See if we just solve the problem and
I would say for the at-home type testing, we've reached our limit. It would be to the point where now I'd be calling professional.
And I can tell you, I did it at my house and it's gonna be more than any of those machines. Just to do the testing.
Well, why don't you meet with Brett and, look at these or the square footage thing and everything and bring it next month. If it's
Okay.
not too bad. Although this is, not human months now, so I don't know that.
Yeah, we have a lot of people. I mean, it's also vacation time for people too.
Oh.
And like I'm gone. We're gonna go through next week, so the courtroom won't be used and, so I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, this has been progressing, so another month.
Well, it is a health.
It is. It definitely is.
Be remedied.
And so we could,
Okay.
yeah,
Sure, we could
we solved the
more
problem.
research
Yeah.
and come with a recommendation of what we think is gonna,
Okay,
because
It's gonna
with
cost more.
replacement filters,
Just like we're gonna move the
we're
courthouse.
gonna have ongoing costs as well.
then we can cheer for that. Okay, sounds fair. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll email you, Brett.
Is today your last day here for the week?
Yeah, when I get back, I'll get a hold, yeah. I'll email you these.
I could transfer you right after.
You know what? I did have a couple things come off, so maybe like after 10, I'll email you and let you know what time.
That's good.
Thanks.
Next, you have management removal of storage evidence from gate. I didn't realize that was on there, but
I didn't put it on.
Well, it was put on there as sheriff, and I requested that sheriff be removed from there because I did not request it be put on there.
so I guess I didn't catch it when I approved the agenda.
Who put that on? Clerk.
Talk to Phil.
And there's no address on it, right? Did the sheriff's committee decide anything?
Yeah, they directed Rich and I to look into the EDA grant a little bit, and we're hoping to have an update for them at their next meeting. Hopefully, we'll have it in time.
Would you like me to?
Who put the agenda together?
Joe puts it together and calls Jerry.
And
So the chair of the committees
I might have missed it.
approve them, not us. Just do as we're told.
But so you got direction from your emergency management committee on which way to go?
No.
There's really nothing to discuss because we don't know what we're doing out of your committee.
Correct. So that's why I wondered who put this on here, because no one's here to present on it.
You want me to call her?
But they're moving, the emergency management's trying to do something, move forward with it, right?
You know what? I think it was Phil.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Why he
I
wanted
think
it?
it was, yeah, I think it was the county.
Probably.
Okay. But yeah, Rich and I are hoping to have an update for emergency
Right.
services.
That's next week,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they are moving, emergency management's trying to do something and move forward with it.
I don't know what we're trying to do with it, but they just, wanted Ashley and Rich to look further into that E EDA.
Just can't do anything with it, we don't have a recommendation.
I don't have any further information, and I don't think the sheriff does, so that's why I was just wondering if someone had it on here for a reason.
Any other questions on it?
I mean, we did talk about it in joint management, but
Yeah.
I don't,
We don't have a recommendation from emergency management.
I was just here in case there were questions. Yeah, I saw it was on the agenda.
All right, we're moving on. Cycling, Charmaine here.
She didn't get a hold of me with any updates or anything either. So it seems like everything's going good.
Sweep was a huge,
It was, yeah,
even though the weather was bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, building the grounds. Sale of a 2023 Sierra truck.
So this is the 1 ton that was purchased in 2022. Plow truck that I drive. It's kind of overkill. Having a 1 ton single cab is more than we need in this position. So I just wanted to look into getting away from that, going to just a 1/2 ton pickup. I'd like to get a 4-door so that I can put the whole crew in it if possible. So I did get some information on it. In 2022, it was purchased for 57,000 with the plow on it. I stopped by 4 places, Lambo Auto here in Ladysmith. I was offered 38,000 for it. Swamp Graver in Barron County, 36. Link Ford offered 41,000. And then Don Johnson's here in Ladysmith offered to do a trade of 50,000 for the truck. So what I'd like to do, if possible, take that $50,000 offer to trade that pickup, go down to a 1/2 ton, and then use the remaining funds to outfit one of our current trucks with a plow so that we wouldn't be losing a plow truck out of the fleet. And just get a more reasonable vehicle for the position.
You don't use it that much in the summer for pulling stuff?
We don't. In fact, there's a 1 ton Dodge that we keep out at the airport that has a dump bed on it and actually pulls a little bit better than that GMC does. So we usually use that when we need to pull or haul. And then that dump bed's handy too. When we use a skid steer, we'll throw the attachments in the bed and put the skid steer in the trailer.
So, Ashley, are you doing the car report?
On the mileage, yeah. I emailed that to you guys yesterday.
Jerry, in 30 years, we'll be getting rid of that 3/4 ton crew cab that you wanted us to buy for a squad too, if something comes up for them.
3 years?
Yeah.
I think that one had planned to go to forestry
They need a 3/4 ton?
for the docks and make little skid steer and stuff. You do have another 3/4 ton to put a plow on?
Yes, that Dodge that we have that we keep at the airport has a big V plow on it.
So
In
one
case we
plow
need
is
it.
enough.
So we have one truck with a straight 8-foot blade on it. Which for what we do, outfitting another truck with the leftover money from this, with a straight 8-foot plow would be enough. And then we would have that 1 ton with the V plow in case we do get a big storm.
I know this has been brought up a lot of times, but that truck out at the airport, was that airport money that did that?
No, there was a lot of confusion around that and I was confused myself as well when I started, but that was, that is county truck. It was not airport funds.
Then what other truck you got out at the airport then? Just that one and
Just that one. Yep, the loader and the tractor were both airport funds. And that's it. We have a county courtesy car out there and then that Ram as well.
What would be the appreciation on it? I mean,
So I talked with Tanya yesterday. And at the beginning of 2025, that was her last updated. That book value was at 32,000 and we're depreciating about 2,900 a month on it.
I don't know, it's hard for us to get new vehicles for the county and then turn around and sell a pretty new one. If you checked with like, not that I wanna prolong it another month or so, but highway,
Getting within that way.
you know, that's a work truck for highway that could be used out there for other operations, you know what I mean?
I have a 2-seater.
Yeah.
Great.
They would still use it out there even for, you know, their mowing tractors when they take, swapping people out, sign truck. We're looking at replacing a sign truck next year.
It's too much truck for maintenance.
That and
It was too big from the start, really.
then I drive it around getting 8 miles to the gallon with it. So fuel kind of unnecessary as well.
Well, you're looking at getting, I mean, you gotta find something different. You can, did you get prices on a new one?
So I've been looking with Don Johnson on the trade. I've been finding something that would work plenty well for us, anywhere from the $40,000 to $44,000 range. And they did agree that anything under that 50,000, a check would get cut. Well, my goal was to get something in the $40,000 range, then use the remaining funds to outfit a different truck with a plow. And then whatever's extra would go to whatever fund was found necessary. Or
The problem is since your depreciation value, they say what it's worth of how much we got into it. I think we would almost have to bid this thing out to trade it because you're actually making a profit on it. Right?
Oh, well,
The rule on that.
okay, so we changed our ordinance, I think in 2023 or early 2024. So any county property with a value over $500 should be let for bid unless the county board directs otherwise. So it ultimately would be a decision by the board. If you want it to be put out for competitive bid, that's fine. If you want to direct sale it, it would take a vote of the county board.
Great.
Yep.
Full county board.
Yep.
That's just a long process right there.
Yeah.
Does that apply to trade-in?
It would be.
Look,
because
it's kind of like a sale, I would
Separate.
say.
Two transactions.
Sale and purchase.
Yeah.
The profit is where it gets used because you're profiting on something, so it has supposed to be let out. That's where we're in the section.
I didn't even.
How long it takes us to even try to get a new vehicle,
Right.
go through the process just to purchase a new one, and then it's a pretty new truck, now we want to get rid of it.
which drive it around Lady Smith
know.
and you'd want to get rid of it too.
We didn't think to check with highway, so we can adjust in the call.
So I guess that'd be a question if is so hard to get a new vehicle. If it were to go to highway, wouldn't it be just as hard to get a replacement vehicle for myself?
Yep.
So why wouldn't we just trade it?
It's the process, but we have to follow the procedure to. When the counties, the government starts making money on equipment that it's supposed to be let out. I think that's what state statute.
So if highway does want it, the highway will pay the fleet and then there would be money in the fleet. And then we would just come back, next month and ask for them to allocate that money
So I'd
to.
have to drive my personal vehicle for a month. Once they took that truck.
Well, they wouldn't take it till we, until we figured out how to, what was gonna go on with it, but.
Just tell me you want 51 for it.
So it'd be whatever it's blue booked at for the, cause you don't charge a department more money than what you got into it. You're just doing the mileage thing.
Right, so then if the highway committee signed off on it, we would know all of those numbers, so we wouldn't do the transaction until you set up, kind of like Domino's.
Cars for a while.
Yeah.
That's fine too. As long as they got something to drive. The cars ride a lot nicer than that truck too, so. I don't know how I feel about me putting my tools in it.
Just, in my opinion, it's hard for us to get new trucks, then turn around and try to get rid of a new truck to buy another used one.
Yeah, we just have to get better in the future about buying the right.
Trucks.
Yep.
Wasn't Brett talking about buying a new pickup?
Used, isn't it?
Yeah, like 600 miles on them. So new, used technically, but yeah, basically new.
How much is in the fleet? For fleet money?
I don't know that number offhand. I can get that for you next month if you want it.
Yeah, I would check with highway and, just see, so then at least, if nobody wanted it, then I don't know any other department that would want it.
A 1 ton.
Well, it'd be time, if you check with highway, then it'd be time to get it on the county board thing this month.
Yeah, and highway
We
agenda.
wouldn't have to, go to full county board though to sell to highway, it's just transfer.
No, highway would have,
But if they didn't want it,
right, exactly.
then we still have time to get it on the county board thing.
But we ain't approved of doing that right now, so we'd have to forward it to county, so it's still have to be another month. Unless you wanna
Make a contingency.
do it that way, that's up to you guys,
Yep, that's up to you.
it's 3 of you.
Well. So.
I almost can guarantee you if this goes to county board though, it's gonna be the same question I have. We just bought a new truck. Now why are we getting rid of it? Even though it's prior to you, it's almost a battle you don't wanna start. Because you're getting. Cause nobody like on the county board likes spending money.
Yeah. You see that, my thought was with the trade, we're not spending any money. The money's already been spent.
You think you can get a new truck by trading this in and get a check back?
What,
You're
sir?
getting a check back for it?
So, yeah. With less miles than this truck only currently has 18,000 miles on it. And I believe I could get one with less miles and get a check back.
Then you turn around and use that to outfit another truck in order to plow snow.
You wanna make it a motion then?
Well,
What can be?
I guess it's just, how fast you want to move on it. Because, if it's going to end up going to the board, you're right, it wouldn't get on this month's, if he's got to talk to highway first and if there's anything else comes up. Otherwise, it could be contingent upon for there, and then if you want to get it on the county board thing this month, or it'll be another month. So I don't know what the urgency is.
It's the only urgency would be maybe if the market changes and say Don Johnson were to say, well, market change will give you 48 now. Who knows? It's car dealership.
You'd have to go, you go talk to Justin, he's gotta take it to highway committee. And from there,
Then you go talk to.
Highway
the
will
AFU.
happen before county board,
yeah,
so it could
It could work.
work.
you guys,
I guess would it still have to come here unless we had.
well, we could make a contingent. If the highway didn't want it, then we'd put it on full county board. Contingent on highway not wanting it.
So
But how would that work for? County board can approve it, contingent trade it in then. You wouldn't have to send it out for bid or nothing, Ashley?
If we did, again, that would be the county board's decision. So if you'd say we approve him doing the trade-in or the sale to the specific car dealership, then that is what the board would decide. But if you want him to, or you could direct that he must get 3 quotes.
Yeah, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's,
You followed that procedure with the 3 quotes.
yep, he did. He talked to me
Don
first.
Johnson is the most advantageous.
Yep.
The contingent on, the motion would be contingent on highway not wanting it. That it would go to full county board, this committee.
right, but the 3 quotes you got were for a new truck or used truck.
That is solely for what they would essentially
Yeah,
be
for the-
buying this GMC for.
Right, but you don't have anything for getting a new truck, used truck, a new used truck.
Used truck. I don't, just because I didn't know the timeline, so I didn't want to pick something out to have it sell in the meantime.
But I mean, contingent on what the county board decides, that's a month away anyway. So. Instead of 2-3 months. At least it's a county board does approve it or doesn't approve it.
Okay,
So
so
we're gonna recommend,
the motion would be to have Brett take it to highway and to see if they want it. And if they do not, then it would go to county board this month. But
but then we still gotta figure out where the extra money is gonna come for to set up another truck.
They have to pay the fleet. Fleet would buy the truck.
Right.
And I'll
So
get
highway
you the most updated fleet numbers for highway committee too.
You know, highway's only gonna pay what we owe on it basically
Right.
to the
Yep.
fleet.
Yep.
'Cause I mean, the county's already paid so much of the truck anyways. But if another department, so there's gonna cost us more out of the fleet money than what we're gonna get from Don Johnson, but depends if highway wants it or not.
Okay, but I think the proposed motion is lacking something. What's the motion right now?
Well, to ask the highway department if they would buy the 2023 Sierra truck, and then that's where I left off, cause I'm listening. Cause you're not sure what you wanna do yet.
And if they don't want it, then it would go to full county board of trade,
Sell it to,
Don Johnson,
sell it to the
But the-
highest.
the highest
Second.
advantageous to the county. Quote that he got.
And then by that part of the motion.
No,
Not it, I don't know that it would have to
no.
be at this
we'll do a
point.
separate, well, it's not wrote on the agenda like that.
Well,
Oh, this is.
if it's
Sale.
sold, we could go
And then look,
back next month and
look at replacement. Purchase of the
Look at
replacement of
replacement.
next month.
Complicate it more.
You find out you'll have a truck you wanna purchase.
We have all one picked out for,
You will need.
If we do.
Quotes and
Yeah,
three quotes on the trucks that are most empty.
so would you? The motion,
Ask the highway department if they would buy the 2023 Sierra truck from maintenance. And this is just what I wrote, cause Jerry said it, and if they do not want the truck, to take it to the county board for approval to sell the 2023 Sierra to a dealership. I'll rewrite it to make it sound a lot better.
Just,
Okay, is it motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second.
any more discussion on it? You're not all in favor, say aye. Aye. Alright. Next, we have facilities management report.
great. So similar projects this month, we went into the transit garage, which is connected to forestry. Their lighting system was, pretty bad, pretty outdated, so we, were able to update that. Got them much happier in there to work on the transit vehicles. So far, we've had 3 large events at the fairgrounds. Everything's going good, working around our construction. Speaking of that, construction project's looking really good on the bathrooms. The painters were here yesterday, so they should be finished up either this afternoon or early tomorrow morning. And from there, it's just plumbers get in, get all the fixtures set, toilets set, and then for the electricians to finish wiring it up. Then we're looking at pouring sidewalks around it and really hoping we're gonna be able to finish a little bit ahead of schedule. So things are looking good. It's shaping up really nice.
Since we're on that, next month, do you guys wanna do a tour of the fairgrounds after the meeting next month?
Because that's before the fair.
Yeah.
Last year.
We usually have the meeting.
We can have the,
there.
we have the meeting usually at the community center, and then after that, we
Go
go on a tour. We can get that on next month's agenda to do it.
Okay.
We have them post the meeting down there. Since we're on that,
Yeah. Sounds good.
Seniors.
So, yeah, Excel Energy was out, and got that power project finished up that we discussed last month. We got the new transformer in to help balance that power load, throughout the fairgrounds during big events. Everything went really good there, and we were able to get power tied into those bathrooms that same day. Their electrician was on site, so Excel and Ellen Becker's electrician coordinated. And that helped speed things up as well. Just to give you an update, this was a joint management project. I finished it up Monday at the Gates Avenue building. We added about a 30 by 50 pad onto the end to kind of ease for getting trailers into their overhead door on the south side there, so. One of the things that kept us busy, as well as should be finished up today. We added the water line along the new fence, so we got that trenched in, Monday. Really get it, all the line run, tracer wire put on, all the verticals put on, and now today, we'll leak test right away in the morning, make sure all of our connections are good, and then we'll backfill this afternoon. So that should be completed as well for one of our upgrades. I did notice there wasn't a manager's report on the airport, so I can fill you guys in now if you want to hear about the airport, or wait until we get to that agenda item.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead on the airport.
All right, so we're getting to see some major projects take place. Pull up the map here. These have kind of been pushed back, and now going to enough conferences that I'm starting to find out who to call to get stuff done. So now we're getting stuff done. So this would be on our 1-4 runway. We had in that section here, it's lagging behind. There we go. So the section just to the left where my cursor is of those white lines, we had a bad buckle in the asphalt there where it's starting to be a safety concern for what they call that a hammerhead there. That's where it will taxi down, use that section to spin around and take off. So it was getting tall enough that they were beginning to worry about prop strikes. So we cut out 30 feet wide of that asphalt, dug it down, regraded everything, and then it was paved. These were all previously paid for projects back in like 2022, 23 through federal funding. And then this week, so that was 2 weeks ago. This week, our main runway is 1-4 and 3-2. That you'll see my cursor on 3-2. That's getting seal coated the last couple days, and then so that was a full shutdown yesterday of our airport until 10 o'clock this morning, where we'll do that intersection, but that'll be finished up by Thursday afternoon. So we'll be seal coated, micro graded, and hopefully smooth that runway out a little bit for our pilots. So those are our big projects that are going on. Saturday, the 28th, EAA chapter 631 was out with their, what they call the Young Eagles project. So it's my first year getting to learn about it. You can register and have your kids from 8 to 17. They'll take them up for a free flight around, kind of introduce them to aviation a little bit. So we had 71 kids register, and then 66 flew on Saturday. So the EAA brought in, they had 9 planes, 1 for kids just to tour, and then 8 taking people around. So it's a really nice turnout, hoping to do what we can to advertise a little bit better and get some more people familiar with what Rusk County has to offer next year. And just a reminder, September 13th is going to be a fly-in pancake breakfast. So come on out and check out the airport and have some pancakes.
Any questions? Here none, we'll move on to security window for register of deeds.
So we've had a couple of security concerns come up in the Register of Deeds office in the last couple of months. So in looking at what we could do, it was talked about, I ran it by myself in the Register of Deeds to add a security window on the door. That way they could have it locked at all times. They can't have people just come in to surprise them. This is a non-bulletproof version at $1,575. We could cut that. Maintenance would cut that into the existing door. With that security, it already has a speak through and a pass through. So if somebody just has a check to drop off, they can stay secured. They'll be able to hand that check through. Administration looked at it as well as Mary, and everybody seemed to be happy with that idea. So we wanted to run it by property. I don't know if Phil wants to speak a little more on that security concern we had in there. Just kind of,
That door is sufficient.
I believe so. That,
Metal frame, solid core. Open up into their office or out in the hallway.
it does open in, so there is still a kick possibility, but
It's fine. I mean,
pretty solid.
we install a deadbolt on it
Yeah, we could.
with a lock from the outside.
Yep.
We just need. My only concern would be, the sheriff's office needs access to every single office in the building. So if we do put a deadbolt on it, I would just request that we get a key to put in our lockbox, so.
They have the money in their budget?
No, so this is something where it's gonna be a courthouse issue. Unfortunately. But being that it's a security concern,
I believe this is our only constitutional office that has free access to the public, correct? So sheriff, clerk of courts, treasurer are all, locked down to the public. And this is our last constitutional office that doesn't have any kind of security like this.
They're supposed to have?
Well, best practice.
So is this the door from the hallway? So they're gonna be hopping up and coming and letting everybody in?
If they need to come in.
Or they could just do most of their work from that door.
So Mary was also thinking of shifting her deputy
Yeah,
down.
because they're way in.
Yep.
I mean, there's a little hallway there. Well,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, to get there. So they're either gonna be hopping up every time somebody wants in or changing layout.
Maybe in order from the treasurer's office, I don't think anyone from the public ever has to actually go into the treasurer's office. They do everything at that window.
We do too, unless we have a marriage license. It's much easier. We can get yelled at from outside. Thing is, the constitutional officers get it. They could tell you, I mean, they come to us and if they're upset.
So which fund do you wanna take it out of? Suggestions.
so
Sheriff's office probably.
well, good
I'm
idea.
fine with that.
Part of security, right?
Yeah.
I accidentally closed it, sorry. Oh,
You on two of those windows, cause we got plexiglass right now.
so that is something further we can discuss is this. This is just a safety glass. If we wanted to step up to a bullet resistant, it's gonna, I guess we'll look at that real quick if you feel that's necessary. So right now it's a 1/4 inch tempered glass. There is a level 1. I mean, that jumps your price up to $3,200 or a level 3 where you're looking at $4,150.
Let's go back to the plexiglass.
Back to the plexiglass.
So, in the maintenance line, my thought, looking at it, would be to just use our repair line. I've got 20,997 still left there. It's not ideal, but being that it's security, hands are kind of tied to find somewhere unless Ashley has a better idea as to where to put.
There ain't a lot of other departments that need to go into that office, is there? Like,
Well, I know she works with zoning and the treasurer, but I think they mainly communicate via phone. Jerry, we should have 25 grand in the courthouse equipment fund. I mean, it depends where you want to take it from.
what's your guys' suggestion?
Is that under maintenance?
That's a capital fund. So you could take it from courthouse maintenance or you could take it from the equipment fund.
You guys thinking?
What else is on the agenda for our equipment for the year?
Snowfall?
Yeah, exactly.
By the time it's all said and done, you need about 1,600.
I'm gonna say, cause we'll have to trim it out just to make it look pretty. There'll be a little bit extra cost in that.
1,800 out of equipment fund, out of capital improvements.
Or up to 2,000.
If that's your motion.
But I guess I'm still wondering, because you said that's a hallway door. I mean, they're back quite a few feet. I mean, how
They're gonna have to move their walls around so somebody can see that.
what about will there be a cost for reconfiguring the office?
There shouldn't be. When I stood by the door, the current window that's in there is only 6 inches wide. And if I walked up, I could see them in the office. So this one being 24 inches wide, I don't think will provide or present any issue with that. And then if we do need to move it, it should just be moving desks around. It'll be a little bit of labor.
Or is there going to be a buzzer or a button or
We
something to?
did talk about that and
Yeah.
Mary did say for now, she thinks she'll just relocate her deputy and she,
Some little bells is cheaper.
yeah, exactly.
You can actually buy a doorbell that. I do that if I need to.
Is there a motion?
Is everybody looking at me? Okay, I'll make the motion to install a security window up to $2,000 Register of Deeds office and take it out of,
Capital improvement, equipment fund.
Do you want the equipment fund or the courthouse budget?
Say,
what are you gonna run out more?
I don't think, have we used out of that equipment fund yet?
I don't have my laptop, but I don't believe so that, I don't think
We're
we
gonna take
touched
it
any
out
of
of the
that.
equipment.
That would make me feel a little better, but use that equipment fund in case something does come up.
Because in terms, like you were asking, someone asked what else is coming out of that this year. Well, I know that all of the equipment, like the capital improvement plan equipment that was budgeted for in 24 or 25 was cut. So I don't think there are any known expenses.
Cause my equipment line I can see says zeros all across, so.
is a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any more discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries. Trail End update.
Do my best to fill in for Shar here. It's been a great season, very busy. People are liking the new cabins. That update's been great. Got a couple loads of mulch donated that James is spreading out, sprucing up camp a little bit. Other than that, no major changes or updates.
Well, there's a nice article on Lace and News about it,
There was, yes.
about their donation and all that.
Like the Kelly Foundation.
Mhm.
Next, the fairground report.
So this coming Monday, circus is coming in. This will be, the Lions puts that one on, so, come support, check us out. I guess, how we've been doing. Other than that, we're just gearing up, trying to get ready for the fair. Livestock committee did start their project. They've got some topsoil pulled away for that scale house that we're looking at as far as their timeline for pouring that. Haven't heard anything yet. But yesterday, H&S Construction started for the new wash racks that are gonna go in. That was a fair board project. They started on that yesterday as well. So hopefully we'll have an update at next month's meeting about how that's looking.
One question I had, that stage they built out front, how'd they get away with never putting a side rail on it?
That's on the list, I guess. I brought that up the other day too. So, yeah, cause that's not.
Construction and inspector would never pass that.
I was promised it's on their list, so.
Next, the sale of the portable bathroom unit.
So this was one that we had picked up. The fair paid for this when our bathroom project was kind of in limbo. We weren't sure where we're gonna end up for the year with facilities. So this is a portable bathroom shower unit. It's never been used. We got it new used, never been hooked up. And we're not looking at hooking up this year, so we'd like to recoup the money, get it back out for bid, and move it down the road so we can open up some storage space.
We talked about this last month or something. You brought it up before, I think.
Um. That again. Talking of like forestry or something. To see if this ain't something they wanna take up to one of their campgrounds.
I was thinking forestry or and highway both, maybe see if it'd be,
Well, highway don't need a shower, but just one of the campgrounds. I know we don't have a, just a one shower unit up at Audi or maybe check with them and see if it's something they want, cause they got water and everything up there. Or even at Josie Creek. No, there's water and
Good idea.
I would check with them and then if they, they'll have to go to their committees, it'll take a little bit, but. But I think that would be perfect at one of our campgrounds.
yeah, absolutely. And it's, new, they're like $6,500 units and we get it for 750. So it's a pretty, don't quote me on that number. I believe that's what we were at. So it's a really good value add for the county somewhere.
I know they would like it at one of the campgrounds.
Perfect.
No sale of it, just check with them and then they'll have to go to forestry and then.
Good.
County cars and. Claims, county car usage.
Okay, so, nothing I want to draw your attention to on the county car usage, but a couple things on the insurance claim review. The liability claim is starting to incur cost, so you'll see that increasing here probably over the next couple of reports. And then we did have our first property claim of 25, and it was for electrical damage to the jail elevator, and we have actually already received payment for that.
Well, they did pay for it?
Yes,
I didn't think they were gonna pay for it.
They surprised us.
they surprised us big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already got the check.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there is a possible squad claim coming as well. Right now, we've only put it in as an incident only, pending some criminal proceedings.
How much was the jail elevator? It was pretty spendy, was.
That was it.
It was quoted at like,
13?
it was quoted at like 10,500, which is why we didn't do the insurance claim. But then the sheriff's department got another bill that came in for like $3,400.
They only paid. We got what, $10,000?
Right, so our deductible is $10,000, but we already got the check for the above and beyond. It's 34 and some change or something.
Any questions on that report? Hearing none, we'll move out of insurance claim, county travel for the airport.
Yeah, so September 10th, they're doing an airport 101 training course, for managers. It'll kind of run through, grant assurances, all regulatory, minimum standards, stakeholders, communication, planning, and then the rest of it would be ownership and governance. So it would be, Mosinee for September 9th and 10th. Would need to go down, would have a hotel room for one night. And that's $100 for the course and added 20 for meals, so.
Is there a motion to approve the out of county travel?
Make the motion to the out of county travel to Mosinee on September
And 10th.
9th and 10th.
Second.
Any more discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, carries. Next, we have IT. Report.
We were promised some quotes that would be in a time, and of course, they're not here, so we'll just push that for next month and when
You
we
don't
get,
need nothing on here?
no, we'll have full information next month. Should have full information.
Did you get a chance to look at the bills?
Since we're talking about IT, I got some emails regarding security out at the animal shelter.
Yes,
And you guys, a bunch of stuff.
yes, we're working on,
Because what was out there didn't work.
yeah, it's to try and make it work, and then there would still be no reporting. So we're using the Blink system that we use at the airport. It's not as great as a complete wired system, but it's gonna be. So we thought that would work for now until maybe we can look into some she can look into some funding, maybe for a different type of system, but,
'Cause right now she doesn't have anything.
nothing at all. I use Blink for the airports and at home, and
I did have questions on the CDBG.
The block grant loans.
Yeah. Is there any kind of a report that you have that maybe shows that that's fine as far as the grant versus the expenditures?
Well, that's Carolyn.
She doesn't submit a report?
I don't believe she ever does a report to finance, no.
He does to housing authority.
Yeah.
Which there's Randy Tater's on.
If that's something you'd like to request, I can reach out to her.
I mean, there's $22,000 here for CDBG.
Yeah, and then it says administrative.
It's continuing. Grant completely. So I think she's trying to get done. I
I
said it.
guess if we're approved bills, that would be a report that I would like to see.
We're approving them after the fact.
I understand that, but, you know, I've denied a request before when it's, you know, for more information. When I was on property, my previous term, but. I mean, the big thing is that, yeah, we approve these, and then after the fact, we have the county board to amend the budgets and so on. It'd be nice to see these things ahead of then.
You want me to ask her?
I mean, it,
Or-
unless there's, you know, a report somewhere on the Z drive that's showing these numbers. If there are, you know, I can take a look at that. But I'm not familiar enough yet with that.
Have actually look into it for you.
Here's an update of the accounts. The rehab account was 107. 771. Street of account 9610. They just approved. It's got a RC 12. I don't know. They've got stuff named Russ County, like the project in there, but. And how much it was. How much are the bills that you're looking at?
Well, there's one for 9, 1,400, and paid for 7,004, 11 plus 29, it's about $40,000.
Doesn't she get a wage?
Well, she gets it. I think she gets it by project, right?
Yes, it's 15%.
If you have any type of.
I'll see what I can pull together for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to approve the bills then.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion on them? You're not all in favor, say aye. Is set next meeting date?
August 6th.
At the fairgrounds, senior center.
8 o'clock at the senior center. And then after, directly after the meeting, we'll do a tour of the. There. There a motion to adjourn? I'll move.
Again.
We're adjourned.
You can just adjourn it, you know.
Yeah.